somebody got to keep it real with you. Somebody has to tell you that you are lying to yourself. Someone has to tell you that these excuses that you're making is not doing anything but delaying your success. Somebody has to tell you that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, which means if you don't take that risk, then you already missed it. And I wanted to make this video because as I was in my reflection of how I blossomed throughout life and how much more far I could have been if I would have stayed consistent, not made as much excuses. And mind you, I don't really make that many excuses, but the excuses that I have made, they are such a hindrance to my success, to where it's like I can't make any more excuses. It comes to a point where you just have to get it done. You just have to go for it. Like, even within this video that I am making, I don't have a script. And that's something that I'm working on as well, is me becoming more prepared. But until I become better prepared, I still have to complete the mission. And if I didn't do the practice beforehand, if I didn't show up for practice, I still got to play the game. Luckily, a lot of times I have this talent or this thing of just winging it as I go, and just figuring things out along the way. And that's one of the reasons why I don't think I plan that much, is because I figure out things along the way. But again, I could be so much farther if I was a better planner. So one of the things that I just want you to understand is you have to show up regardless. Like, you have to show up. So it's best that you prepare. It's best that you plan. It's best that you've showed up to practice beforehand. So when it's time for you to play the game, when it's time for you to show up, you're more well equipped. Because a person who is prepared and who has went to practice within the game versus a person who's doing things all willy-nilly, the person who has prepared and studied is going to be more prepared to tackle within the game and play the game and take those risks. If you didn't come to practice, then you're going to be more afraid and hesitant to take those risks because you ain't come to practice. You didn't come to practice. So somebody got to keep it 100 with you. Somebody got to keep it real with you and tell you you need to go to practice. And if you're not going to go to practice, you better believe in your abilities to the T. That you just know in your heart of hearts and in your spirit that you are going to get it done. And hopefully you get it done effectively, because it's one thing to get it done. It's another thing to be progressive and effective when you're getting it done. Because you ever do your work and it's sloppy and it's rushed, but you get it done. The thing with me is I've done work and it's been sloppy and it's rushed. And I'll probably get like a B. But if I were to prepare and practice and study and take a little bit more time within my practice and my study, I probably would have gotten A. And then that just, it's also, what are you striving for? Are you striving to be like, just be coasting through life? Or are you striving to be great and be the greatest version of yourself? What are you striving to be? Who are you striving to be? Because when I was in my reflection, I'm like, I am a blossom. I should be operating at the highest version that I can. So I had to keep it real with myself. I'm like, even within me making this video, I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done. God has blessed me with having a way with words, to where even if I come not so prepared, I can still get the message across that I want to get. And also, like, I used to do acting when I was younger, so we would have to do improv to where it's just, I got pretty decent at it. But again, that came with practice. When I was in acting classes, we practiced that over and over and over and over again. So I just want to keep it 100 with you. We're going into 2025. We're going into 2025. The excuses have to stop. Not showing up to practice has to stop. And again, this is your life we're talking about here. I'm just keeping it real with you because I have to keep it real with myself. I'm like, Blossom, this is your life we're talking about here. This is your dreams. These are your dreams. So if you want to willy-nilly, like, not do your best, that's on you. So that's why I have to keep it real with myself. Like, okay, I'm showing up today, but maybe my next video, I might come a little bit more prepared or more equipped, but just know that I show up for practice. I've shown up for practice to a point where I'm able to speak like this. So I just want y'all to keep it real with yourself and keep it 100. This is your dreams we're talking about here. This is you we're talking about here. So when you think of you, what do you think of? Are you somebody that deserves their dreams to be pursued? Are you somebody who deserves their word kept to themselves? Like when I think of me, I think of a person, a Blossom, who deserves because I have done and have showed up to practice in the past. But I think of a person who deserves to be honest with myself. Like, I deserve that for me because I love me and I respect me. So if I love and respect myself the way that I say that I love and respect myself, my actions have to show up. My actions have to show up. If my actions don't align to what I say, in most cases, that would be kind of fraudulent. And I don't typically respect frauds. So that means I gotta show up. I gotta start making excuses. I have to do what I say that I'm going to do. So I'm keeping it real with me. Which is allowing me to keep it real with you. It's kind of one of those things like, if I lie to me, I'm going to lie to you. Because how could I not? How could somebody not? If I lie to me, how could I not lie to you? If I don't keep my word to myself, and I say that I love and I care about and respect myself, do you really think that like this is me we're talking about here? So that's what I always refer back to when I think of me. I say, Blossom, this is me we're talking about here. When I go to the gym, I'm like, okay, like I'm living in my vessel. I'm living in my body. This is me we're talking about here. If I love myself the way that I said I love myself, regardless, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I do not like going to the gym. I don't like it. You know, I always tell people, I be like, I am the most hardworking, like, I think it's lazy because I don't be wanting to go to the gym. I go and I put in that work and I do what I'm supposed to do, but that process to get there, that's why and this is why you also have to know yourself too, because I have to get up way earlier than the average person because I know that I'm going to want to procrastinate. I know that I'm going to want to lollygag. So I can't give myself at this time the luxury to wake up at 9. Like when I'm on that type of wave about me, so I can keep my word to myself and be consistent, I can't have those type of luxuries because I like to procrastinate. And overthink. So I can't allow myself the luxury to wake up at 9. I have to wake up at 5, sometimes 4:30. And even then it's like I'm dragging myself. So, but that's me keeping it 100 with me. I'm keeping it 100 with me so I can keep it 100 with you. And I'm telling you about me so that you can be like, if I procrastinate, I might have to wake myself up a little bit earlier as well, because then I'll be rushing to go to the gym to the point where like I'm not even gonna want to go anymore. Cause that's what I used to do. But again, you just have to keep it real with yourself. Who do you want to be? If you love and respect yourself the way that you love and respect yourself, are you going to show up for yourself? Are you going to keep your word to yourself? Are you going to keep your words to yourself in your dreams? How do you want your desired body and vessel to look? Are you going to eat healthy? Are you going to eat like somebody who loves themselves? Are you going to work on yourself like somebody who loves and respects themselves? Are you going to read books, get the knowledge that you need to have to progress in life? You shouldn't go through life wanting to be ignorant. That should not even be a thing. You should want to learn, you should want to expand your mind, you should want to get the knowledge, because this is you we're talking about here. I always think as I'm keeping it real with myself, even when I'm making these videos, which I'm also going to make another video talking about this. I do music. I have a legacy of music, like a little track record of music that I have on Apple Music. And then these videos. I have a YouTube. I have a track record of YouTube videos that I post. I have, my Instagram. I have a track record of videos and pictures on my Instagram, and I have my inspirational page. And when I think and I ask myself, if this doesn't get many views or goes viral, why are you posting this? Why are you sharing this? And in my mind, now, these days, if we only get one life. If something were to ever happen to me in life, the people in my life, like my siblings, my whatever, I pray that I live a long life, but I'm just, we gotta be honest. This is a part of them getting to know me and looking back like, oh, Blossom was like this, or Blossom was like that. Or if I have grandchildren, great grandchildren, they're like, oh, like, wow, this was Grandma Blossom. That sounds so crazy to say. But like, you have to ask yourself, when you're keeping it real with yourself, what is your why? Why do you do the things that you do? Why are you moving the way that you're moving? If you're out here not moving, like, because I move, the way that I move like my little sisters are watching me for the most part. Because sometimes I'm still growing and blossoming through life. But for the most part, I move like my little sisters are watching me. I move like myself as a kid can look up to me. Like, if me as a kid, now I'll be like, I wonder what I'll be when I grow up. Like, I wonder what I'm going to talk about. I wonder what my interests are going to be. And then I'm pretty sure, like, me as a younger kid, I'm going to, like, I probably would have been like, oh my goodness, like, she's a blossom. She be blossoming. She does music. She writes poetry. She does her best. So that's kind of that's my why. That's how I move in life. But yeah, I just wanted to keep it real with y'all. I know I was talking about me quite a bit, but I was talking about me so then I could talk about you. Like, I truly believe I can better, because I can also help others without helping myself, because I've done it before, but it's more effective once I help myself first, navigate through things, and check me first before I can check anybody else, is what I'm trying to say. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all keep it real with yourself, and like, just be somebody who you can look back and be like, you did all right. Like, you did all right. Like, I'll look back at myself and look back at my videos and things like that, and like, I'd be like, my little sisters can watch these. My little sisters can watch these videos. They can watch how to blossom, ways to keep it real with yourself. Like my families, my little cousins, like they can watch this and be like, yeah, like, you know. So just ask yourself, what is your why? Ask yourself who you want to be, and just keep it real with yourself. Like don't ever lie to yourself. One thing that I admire about myself is I don't really have much shame. Like I don't have much shame. Like anything that I've been through, I can share it because I'm just not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of the things that I've done in the past because it's helped me grow to become better and learn from it. And I think the reason that I'm not ashamed is because most times I learn from it. And I'm like, okay. But I was just telling somebody that in my past, and I think a little bit now too, you ever heard the phrase where people be like, nobody has to tell me not to touch the stove because I can see this steam coming from the stove and it clearly looks hot. I was always the type of person where if you tell me don't touch the stove, it's just like, why not? Oh, it's hot. Don't you see the steam? Like, it's hot. It's fiery. It's red. But is it really? So that's always been me. And it's something that I'm learning through as well because half of me still feels like, I mean, let's see. But it's very wise if you see steam and hotness to not like touch the stove. I know I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but my point in saying all that is that was always the best way that I've learned, is a lot of times learning from myself. And I do understand when people say, I went through it so you didn't have to. So I'm telling you this now so you don't have to go through the things that I went through. So if you find somebody in your life like that where they're like, look, hey, I'm looking out for you, like you don't have to go put yourself in that position just to learn. When I'm telling you right now, you can learn right now. So I'm telling you right now, you can learn right now. Be consistent with yourself, love on yourself, respect yourself, and keep your word to yourself. Put God first. Don't be out here being fast. Don't be out here like trying to be grimy. Like, be somebody that you're proud to be. And at this stage in my life, I'm very proud to be the blossom that I am. And I still have a lot of work to do because one of the things, I'm not perfect, but one of the things that I'm still blossoming through is my pride issues when it comes to emotions, because I can be very emotional, but I don't really know how to sometimes express it in the best way. So that's something that I'm blossoming through. But again, not ashamed to say that because this is why I'm a blossom. This is why I am blossom, because I'm just not ashamed and I do the work to better myself. And sometimes, you know, it's like a roller coaster. Sometimes I do really well. Sometimes it goes right back down. Sometimes I do really well, but sometimes I go right back down. Sometimes I'm very consistent and then I'm like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm just trying to be like here. I'm just trying to be doing my best to be consistent. So that's all I want to say to y'all. Always do your best. Keep God first. Be consistent. Keep your word to yourself. Keep it real with yourself. Don't be out here lying to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be loyal to yourself and your dreams. Pursue your dreams. Romance your dreams. Blossom through life. Blossom through. Don't try to find shortcuts. Don't try to blossom through. A lot of times, we are in a waiting season, because I think that's the season that I'm in right now. I'm in a waiting season because I've been being very intentional. And sometimes we are in a waiting season because God has so much for us. A lot of times, I think I wrote a poem about this, or I said this, and I said, I would be praying for the stars, right? I'll be praying for the stars. God, just bless me with something as big as the stars. When God really wants to bless you with the stars and the moon and a bouquet of flowers, matter of fact, and a garden and some land. And it's just like, a lot of times we are in a waiting season so God can bless us with what God truly wants us to have. So yeah, I just, I hope y'all blossom through and keep it real with yourself and love on yourself. and treat yourself like somebody that you admire and that you respect, because you are very important. You are very important. And I pray and I hope that you know that about yourself. You are very important. So treat yourself like somebody of importance. So that's all I want to say to y'all. Keep blossoming and blossom out.